What's up, everybody? It's your boys Cam and T back at it again with another episode of the Cam and T podcast. If you're listening to this on YouTube, go ahead and like the video. It helps with the algorithm. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple, all that type of stuff, go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. It helps with the algorithm there as well. I am your co-host, Tony T-Ton West. We have my brother from another mother. Happy podcast day, Cam. Happy Tuesday, Campbell in the building. What's going on, brother?
Happy Pod Day, man. What's happening with you?
Not much. I can't call it, man. I can't call it. We're getting close to summer. You know, I can't complain, man. I'm in a pretty good mood. How you doing?
Shoot, I'm good, man. I can't complain myself, man. I can't complain myself.
Yeah,
Hanging
man.
in there, man.
Definitely. Well, before we get started, just wanted to kind of give y'all a rundown of the show. So tonight we'll be talking a lot about the playoffs mostly. We'll start off with the east side of the NBA playoffs. We'll talk about the west side of the NBA playoffs as well. What's next for LeBron as they got swept? We'll talk about kind of what's going to be next for LeBron and all that good stuff. And before we even get going, Cam, we've had 2 deaths today in the NBA. So I did want, before we even get going, I want to send my condolences to the family of Brandon Clark. I don't really know. There's a lot of speculation on like how he died, why he died. We ain't really got to get into that right now because I don't know what the facts are. But definitely just wanted to send my condolences to, you know, his family and stuff like that. And then a guy I was just telling you about, like right before the podcast started, passed away. And I think he was the first openly like gay player, Jason Collins. He died at the age of 47. He had a 13-year career in NBA. He died with stage 4 glioblastoma. I don't know what that is.
It was brain cancer.
Brain cancer, essentially. Yeah. He's the first actually, you know, homosexual player. So definitely, again, just wanted to send condolences to the families and friends of those individuals. And definitely, like, again, even with the Clark situation, I don't really know the whole thing, but 29 years old is extremely, 47 years old is extremely young.
Yeah.
Sure. But 29 is even more devastating. Both of them are terrible, obviously, but you know, we just want to send condolences. You know, I at least wanted to sing. Me and you both wanted to send condolences before we get started. I'll give you the floor though.
Yeah, it's crazy because we don't really hear. You don't really hear a whole lot. You know, you don't really get this news that often. You know, that a former player then passed away, let alone a former player and a current player passing away on the same day. You know what I'm saying? So. The NBA is a brotherhood, man. You know, I know not only their families are touched, but the families of the players around them have been touched. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's you know, a lot of people don't really look at players as human, but I mean they are, man. And Brandon Clark is a guy, he's our age, you know what I'm saying? And he's gone now, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, definitely condolences to him. And then like you said, Jason Collins, him being 47, extremely young. And cancer, once again, you know, just a terrible disease, affliction that people have to live with and everything. So, you know, condolences to him and his family too, because again, you know, I don't know if they had children or anything like that, but you know, just condolences to them, their parents. I'm sure probably still alive with them being so young. So, you know, it's a shame, man. It really is sad. And condolences to, you know, like I said, the NBA as a whole, because again, it's a brotherhood, man. And just, you know, want to wish everybody well. I hate to hear it.
Yeah, it's terrible, absolutely terrible. So I wanted to start off there first before we even got into any sports. I just wanted to kind of give those guys a few minutes, and we want to just send our condolences and our prayers. Before we even get into the NBA, we'll make it quick because this is some news that's kind of like breaking as I speak. And kind of been breaking all day. A little bit of college football. It'll take like 3 seconds. Clemson LSU will be the place of game day week 1. I didn't know this until today. Allegedly, the week 1 schedule is like garbage. Like nobody's really playing week 1 because, for one, I guess the playoffs is really all that matters now. So as many wins as you can get, they really are not scheduling harder opponents up front. And then it's probably just going to get worse because they're going to 24th. It looks like the 2014 playoff is eventually going to happen, which I think sucks for college football. But we'll talk about that on a college football day. But yeah, first week will be Clemson, LSU will be the game of the week for college game day. The next week will be Ohio State, Texas, which I think that's going to be a really good game. down there in Austin. That'll be for the next week. And then I think the week after that, they said somebody, LSU and Ole Miss. When Lane Kiffin go back to Ole Miss. I actually kind of want to talk on that too a little bit.
The
actually.
Confederate Bowl. Yeah, let's talk about
the Ole Miss. You seen the stuff what Lane Kiffin said yesterday or something like that about the whole, it was harder to recruit because the Confederate stuff. Did you see that?
I didn't, but that ain't nothing but chirping. That ain't nothing but just him talking out his behind. Cause listen, man, it's probably hard for all these schools. If we really wanted to say it like that, all these schools in the South, probably could have had a hard time recruiting. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even really trying to hear that. And then on top of that, they saying the Tigers of LSU are named after a Confederate group, Confederate soldier unit. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't trying to. You can go ahead, but I ain't trying to hear. Like I said, bro, you already know.
I mean, he's using it. He's 100% using it as negative recruiting against Ole Miss. That's definitely what he. Now, don't get me wrong. What he said was right, but he knew that when he took the job as well.
Exactly.
So he's really just negatively. It's two things can be true. He's right about what he was saying about the state of Mississippi, how Ole Miss has this negative connotation, you know, with racism. I mean, Mississippi is probably one of the most racist states, if not the most racist state in the country. Nobody's surprised by that at all. But again, he's using that as a way to negatively recruit against his former team, which I think is bogus because you knew that when you took the Ole Miss job the first time.
Right.
So why now all of a sudden you left and it's a problem now?
So and the thing about privilege, man, white privilege in general, he can say something like that. He can choose to say something like that, but also choose to not be affected by it. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody like me, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not an athlete or nothing like that, but if that was on my mind, you know what I'm saying, I'd have a problem with putting on that Confederate rebels flag issue type deal all over my uniform and everything. I'd have a problem supporting that, you know what I'm saying? But he got paid millions of dollars as the face of that, you know what I'm saying? So again, I don't really rock with bro anyway.
Yeah, but it's just, he's a slimy skis ball.
It's just one of them things. It's just one of them things where, you know, he really just like you said, he just being slimy again, bro. You know.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, you know, Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken, Mississippi has the highest percentage of black people in terms of population in the United States, if I'm not mistaken. I think they got like 50 or 60 something percent black people. I don't think nobody else has over 50% in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So it really shouldn't have been that hard because you got a lot of black people in Mississippi. Jackson is one of the black meccas in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Along with Memphis and Atlanta, LA, and all these other Chicago, Detroit, all of these other places. So I know Ole Miss ain't in Jackson, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's just talk, man. That's all it is. It's just talk, you know. And it was no reason for him to even really say that because you did well. You did very well at Ole Miss. Even if you don't think you recruited well, the guys that you brought in, you coached them fairly well. I mean, y'all had some pretty good success at Ole Miss. Didn't have no conference championships, but you know what I'm saying. But you played well. Yeah. So again, I just ain't really with it, man. It's that we deep in the off season. You know what I'm saying? We deep in the off season where these coaches, man, they just be trying to get sound bites, trying to get some attention. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about y'all right now, man. We looking at the NBA, we looking at the WNBA, we looking at all this other stuff, man. Even the NFL got more motion right now than y'all, bro. Just chill, relax, get ready for game day, get ready for game 1 against Clemson. And just keep it there, man. All of that other stuff is just nonsense, man.
Yeah, I lean to be on the same side as you on this one. Like, yeah, two things can be true. He's probably right about the whole Confederate stuff and all that in the Mississippi, but you knew that when you took the job. You're just using that now as a way to negatively recruit. Two things can be true, and I think he's a sleazeball. But we can get into that, you know, in a couple of weeks when we get more into college football talk. Anyway, let's get to the NBA. What series did you want to start off with first? I know you was talking about the Knicks. We want to start off with the Knicks just absolutely sweeping the 76ers in 4 games and we talked about this last week. I'm not gonna lie. I still think OKC's gonna win the whole thing. New York is playing pretty damn good right now. I'm not gonna lie. The New York
Yeah,
Knicks have been really impressive. 4-0 swept a pretty decent Philly team that beat Boston. Me and you talked about it. We said finals should be the minimum that they're getting to, and I think they're
yeah,
gonna get there. I really do. I don't think Cleveland nor Detroit is beating this Knicks team. If they continue to play like this, I think the only team that's beating them is whoever comes out the West. But I'll get your take on it. What do you feel about the Knicks at this point?
yeah. I agree with what you just said, man. I think um they've been dynamite the last what's this 6 games that they're on a win streak, 6 or 7, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Seven,
Yep.
right? Seven game win streak. They've been on
7.
fire,
Yeah.
man. I think they blowing teams out by average of what 20 something. I
Yep.
mean, they've been incredible. You know what I'm saying? In particular, in the 2 closeout games, they beat they beat y'all by 50 something, and they beat the 76ers by 30. You know what I'm saying? So they
Mm-hmm.
ain't playing no games right now. They locked in. I'm happy for Mike Brown. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he got issued a very raw deal up in Sacramento. Him giving them the only successful season that they've had in my whole entire lifetime, essentially.
Yeah.
Um, and then them firing him like a year later
Yeah.
over nothing. You know what I'm saying? For no reason. I'm glad he's bouncing back and is about to take his team to the conference finals
And they was
and
about to
potentially the
fire him
NBA
at
finals.
New York when he was
Yeah,
losing to the Hawks.
and again, it's ridiculous, man. It's like again, kind of what I was saying before, bro. This
We
is this
already
is
know. Yeah.
this is how it is for black people, man. Like we can't say much, we can't, we can't do much. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing we can do. It's like, you know, if you do well, they still think you're not doing enough, and if you don't do well, then they ready to fire you. So it's like, again, I'm happy for them. Now, the Knicks, the way that they're playing though, they gotta get it. They gotta get, like you said, they gotta get to the finals, man. Like next round, Cleveland and Detroit. I mean, they knocking each other out, man. They're 2 teams coming off of a game 7, and they're about to go to a game 6 at the very minimum.
Yeah. I think it's
You
going
gotta,
7.
you kind of, and it might go to another game 7. You're right. So if I'm the Knicks, you're gonna be well rested. You're gonna have a week. You might have almost 2 weeks of rest uh before you play your next opponent in the conference final. So the Knicks I think they need to win this conference finals and be hot going into the finals if they want any chance going up against OKC. But yeah, what do you think? I know you said finals is where you think they need to go, but who do you think, speaking of the conference finals, let's go ahead and get into that now. Who
Yeah.
do you think is advancing? What have you thought about this series, the Pistons and Cavs, and who you think is advancing?
That Cavs and Pistons one has been an absolute dog fight. I'm not gonna lie. Both teams are handling business at home. I still think Detroit probably wins in 7.
Mhm.
Um, but again, man, it's that's been a dog fight, man. I think you're starting to see James Harden kind of show some lights. I know he was really good the other night ago. What night was that? Sunday maybe. One of them nights he went crazy. I was like, okay,
Mhm.
James Harden when they needed him the most. So shout out to James Harden for Cleveland. But again, that's gonna be a dog fight. That could go either way. But I think I'm with you. I think it's going 7, bro. I think it's
Yeah.
either going. I lean 7. I think it's going 7, honestly. To be quite frankly honest with you.
Yeah.
But I do think Detroit. I think they can probably get the win over them. But when we get to the conference finals, I'm gonna go ahead and give my prediction. I got the Knicks in 5, man. I
Mm.
think the Knicks are playing that good right now. I'm serious. I never thought I would say this about them. The way they are playing right now, I think there is only one team that can beat them at this moment, maybe 2. And I think that's the Spurs and the OKC Thunder. That's it. Because I even think if they matched up with Minnesota, I probably would pick the Knicks to win the whole thing.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
for sure.
so that's when I think the only 2 teams I'd be hesitant about taking the Knicks over is again the Spurs and OKC.
Yeah.
That's it. They're the only two teams I'll be hesitant about. The way they're playing right now, as currently the last 2 weeks, you know. So in my opinion,
Yeah.
man, I think the Knicks win in like five. I think the Knicks win about 5 or 6, even in the next series, regardless, Cleveland or
Or
Detroit. And I
Detroit.
think they find themselves in the finals. Yep.
Yeah, fair enough. Would you say? Because I'm thinking this probably the best I've seen the Knicks play in 20 years.
Dude, this is by far the best I've seen the Knicks play.
Shoot, in our lifetime.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe
Yeah,
even in our lifetime, because even the
yeah.
Carmelo Anthony Knicks, when I was like a freshman in college,
They weren't this
senior in
fire.
high school, they weren't even this good. So this
Mm-mm.
is probably the best I've seen the Knicks in my whole entire like lifehood. Like
Yeah,
this is probably the best I've seen them right now. So in my personal opinion, I think I, I really do think they get to the finals this year. And I think this is the
yeah,
year to do it because I think Boston's gonna be right back next year, depending on what they do this offseason, but I think they're gonna be right back. I think Indiana is a team you got to watch out for next year because they'll be back fully healthy,
yeah,
fully crewed up. Detroit's going to get nothing but better because they're young. So I think this is a big year for New York. I think this has got to be the year you at least get to the finals. I think they're going. I think they're going to do it. I really do.
yeah, yeah. And and it would be good for them if they did too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because I know they've been itching for it. They ain't been to the finals in what since '98. Is that right? Something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
'99,
Mm-hmm.
something. Or it might be longer than that. I don't know. But anyway, speaking of those teams that you said, after we talk about the Lakers, let's talk about the draft lottery as well. I
Yeah.
forgot that happened last week, but
Yeah, yeah. It was Sunday. You know what's crazy? I didn't even know the draft lottery was happening until like 5 minutes before it happened.
yeah, yeah,
They did a terrible job like marketing that, by the way, NBA.
yeah,
But go
they
ahead,
sure
my
did.
bad.
They sure did. No, you ain't lying though. We'll get into that a little bit here later on, but moving on to the game that we have tonight, the Spurs and the Wolves. T, give me your thoughts on that series. It's 2-2 right now. Give me your first of all, and answer this when you give your thoughts too. Do
Yeah.
you think Wemby should have been suspended for the elbow?
No, I don't think Wemby should have been suspended. I think he kind of got caught in the heat of the moment. I don't think he knew Nas Reed was walking up on him when he swung back. I think because he was holding him from the other side, so he probably just trying to jerk free, and then he ended up, you know what I'm saying, elbowing him and shit like that. So I don't even
Yeah,
think it was a situation where it was like on purpose. And I'm not gonna lie, it might have been up 3-1. I think we've been talking about. Okay, I think we've been talking about another. My bad. I don't know what happened there. My computer did something weird.
yeah,
But anyway, yeah. But anyway, yeah. I think we've been talking about 3-1 series. Spurs up. I still think the Spurs handle bit. I do think Minnesota's doing a good job. Anthony Edwards seems to be coming back a little bit. But I don't think he needed to be suspended. Fine, yeah, sure. Suspended, nah. I don't think he was doing it purposeful. At least in my opinion, I didn't think he was.
yeah,
But that's just my into the actual series itself. I mean, again, I think it's been a really solid series. I do think if Wemby was healthy, you know, and I mean not healthy, if he was in the game completely, I do think they win that game probably more than likely. I think
yeah,
Wemby is probably the second or third best player in the NBA right now. You could argue already, just after what 3 years in the league, 2 years in the league. So again, I think when it comes down to it, I think Wemby's the best player on the court, even though I love Anthony Edwards as well. I love actually what Minnesota has as a team. I love Nas Reed, very good player. Julius Randle does his thing, you know, decent team. McDaniels, all those guys. But I just think that, you know, the Spurs have the better player right now, and also as well, I think they have the better team as constructed. So in my opinion, I do think the Spurs win this. I think this does go like 6 though. Like I think the Spurs, they play tonight, right?
yeah. It's already going 6 because it's 2-2, so it's definitely
Okay.
going. Yeah, it's going 6. It's
It's going 6, yeah. So
yeah.
I think Spurs win the next 2 is pretty much what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
I
I
think they
got
win
you.
the next 2, yeah.
I
But go
got you.
ahead, my
I
bad.
got you. No, no, you got it. Yeah, it's I kind of what you were saying earlier. I'm surprised that it's 2-2 right now, that it ain't 3-1. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean the Spurs should be should be outmatching this team. But again, the Wolves, they just have that spirit about them. I know Wemby got ejected last game, and like you said, it would probably be Spurs 3-1 right now if
Yeah,
he didn't. But still, it's crazy that it's a tied series because
yeah,
like I said, I'm really surprised. But with that being said, I'm with you. I think Minnesota has won their final game of the season
yeah,
already. I think they're going home here soon. And that's no disrespect to them. They
yeah.
had a tremendous season. Losing Dante DiVincenzo sucks, of course, for them. But again, this Spurs squad is I mean, they were the second best team in the league this year. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's hard to it was gonna be hard for any team to
I
beat
mean,
them.
let's just be transparent, right? And I guess we'll kind of transition in a minute, but let's just be real here. The NBA Finals is Spurs versus OKC. We know that, right? That's the real NBA Finals. I don't think the Knicks are beating OKC.
Yeah,
Even though I just bragged about them for the last like 20 minutes just a minute ago, they ain't beating OKC, bro.
right.
That's ending in 6 games, even if they're playing at their best, probably.
Yeah,
So again, the finals is really OKC versus Spurs, in my opinion. In my opinion, let me say that. I think the finals will be OKC. What the finals really is going to be just like this year in the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was really Rams versus Seattle in Seattle. That
yeah,
was the Super Bowl for real.
yeah.
Everybody knew whoever won that game won.
Was winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody knew that. Everybody. I
yeah,
remember literally saying that whoever won that Rams Seattle game is going to win the Super Bowl. That's exactly what happened. So
yeah.
it's pretty much the same thing here. Whoever wins that OKC Spurs game, no disrespect to the Knicks and all that, and it's good to have like a New York team there and all that. And I know the media loves it and all that. But at the end of the day, the two best teams this whole year was OKC and Spurs, bro. You
Right.
feel me? So yeah, but my bad.
And no, you good, and I'm glad you said that because really at this point in the season, what it boils down to is um who's the healthiest team. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the things, just kind of random topic here, but that's one of the reasons why I think they did like a league wide survey or something last week. I don't know if you saw it, but
No.
the players basically said that they wouldn't mind a shortened season because by the time we get to this late in the season, I mean we pretty much 100 games in. You know what I'm saying? Whoever wins the championship basically plays 100 games. And I know basketball isn't as physically taxing as a lot of other sports, but I mean these players be getting banged up. I mean it seems like every
Dude,
year go ahead.
me and my dad have been arguing this for years. Cut the season down to 65 games, start the season on Christmas Day, and call it a day. What are we
Mm.
doing? Like this, that should have been the model. Like that one year they did that, I think it was a lockout year or something like that.
Yeah, the lockout had 66.
66 games.
Mm-hmm.
Do 65 games, start on Christmas Day, and call. Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'll be transparent. I'm not. Cam is really the big NBA guy here. Like I watch the NBA, but I'm like a casual watcher. I'm not like in watching every single person, every single game. I'll highlight watch here and there, and I'll watch like the Hawks. I'll watch their games fully, and I'll watch like LeBron and the Lakers games fully. But I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm some NBA aficionado. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest. I don't start tapping in with the season like that till Christmas. So I don't really see the point. I agree with I think they should shorten the season. Pretty much what I'm trying to get to. Drop the season down to 65 games. Start Christmas Day as the startup of NBA basketball. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And I think that'll make the season more meaningful. There's more opportunities for people like dudes like Embiid. That's always getting hurt and
Always
stuff.
hurt.
You'll get to maximize him more. I think this will also minimalize like resting players or what they call it, like maintenance, what they call it.
Load management.
Load management. Yeah, it'll stop that because now you're not going to these places as much. So, for example, a lot of teams in the division, they'll play each other four times. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Maybe lower that down to just 2 times, 3 instead of 4. I think I would just go to 60 games, bro.
Yeah.
60, 65, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, I can't I'm with you, bro. I think I think it's tricky because it kind of changes records and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It messes with that a little bit. Not necessarily points per game or nothing like that, but like totals. You know what I mean?
Totals, yeah.
But then again, it's just like you said. There's really only a handful of players. I think only 6 or 7 players this year played all 82. You know, you had guys that played exactly the amount that they were required, 65. Like I think Kawhi Leonard played exactly 65. Guys like that. And I'm with you, man. I think, like you said, if you start the season later, look at the last 2 or 3 years. Look at the Achilles injuries that we've seen.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Last year in the playoffs,
think about it though, Cam. These guys don't really get that long of a break. Say your team played
they don't
to the finals, right? You ain't done till what? Beginning of June, middle of June. You already going back to training camp in October. You probably getting ready for the training camp in September, August. You ain't had but like a month and a half off.
That's it.
You've had June, the back end of June, July, and August. You're already training to get back ready to go, and by September, you got to be pretty much fully ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, you barely get a break. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You barely get a break. Think about I think about some sports like baseball. They get a long time.
They do.
They get because their season ends in October and it begins the following April. You know what I'm saying? And I also like how baseball season.
That's for the team that wins.
That's the team that wins, exactly.
So say the playoffs. Say you don't make the playoff, your season ends in like September or August, whatever. Right. September.
Right. Now baseball is a little different because they literally play every single day, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They might get 2 or 3 days off. That's another
league that probably needs to lower their games. I think they play like 100 and some games, 180 something games.
They play 162, I think.
Yeah, they need to lower that to like 100.
Yeah, they play a lot. Because I remember last year, the Red Sox played. I want to say they played 21 days straight last year at one point.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts, man. But anyway, back to basketball though. Like, I just think, like you said, I just think shortening in the season, you're gonna get a lot more players to play. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you won't see as many Achilles and those straining injuries. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the science behind it. I'm sure we got somebody in here that knows all about that. But I just feel like you're going to see less of those types of injuries. Of course, you're going to get, bone bruises and stuff like that are still going to happen. You might get back spasms or whatever, but give these players, a longer rest period or something. So that way they'll be more refreshed coming into the next season. And like you said, the product on the field might be better by then. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate seeing seasons like this where you have all these really good teams, but then come playoff time, Luka Doncic is a guy that was in the MVP conversation all season long. Was arguably the best. You can make an argument he was the best player in the league this season. Didn't play a single playoff game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Got hurt right before the playoffs. Cade Cunningham almost missed. We almost missed him from getting not only the season awards, but if his injury was just a little bit worse, we might not have been able to see him this playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's so many guys that, think about it. Jason Tatum, right? When he tore his Achilles, think about Therese Halliburton and Damian Lillard. They all tore their Achilles in the same playoff run. You know what I'm saying? And it's like again, injuries that very well could have been avoided had they got a longer rest period before the season started. So yeah, and a lot of people might say, well, Mike and them, they play 82, Magic play 82. You know what I'm saying? Look, these are different guys in the different body types, different shoes. We live in a completely different world right now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what the reason is, but there's something that changed with the NBA and with athletes because we're seeing a lot more injuries now than we ever have before. Something has got to give. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's too many games, like you said. I think AB said it best. Anywhere between 65 and 70 games. I think that's good.
The year I like. Yeah. So the year, let me see. The year they went to the bubble, I think they played 60, and then the year after that they played 72. Mm-hmm. And they were both pretty good seasons. I know the the COVID year got cut in half basically. And they got a but again, that you kind of can see it right there where you know how the league kind of got it pretty much got split up that season. But then when the bubble came in, everybody was hooping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody was hooping. It's because they had rest. The following year, when it was 72 games, when they had a really short, I mean, I think they only had like 2 months off, if that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was tired. You know what I'm saying? The teams that made the bubble and that were hot in the bubble, they weren't any good other than the Suns because they were still hot. But outside of those teams, they weren't good. But then the following year, when they had a full offseason to rest, the same teams that made the bubble, conference finals and finals, made the NBA the regular conference finals in the finals 2 years later. So again, give these players more rest and let's just see what happens. But
I agree. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, but moving on to OKC and the Lakers, if you're ready.
Yeah, that's all I was about to do. Yeah.
So OKC, of course, swept the Lakers,
which we both called. By the way, we both called that last week on the show. We said it's over before.
we
both called it.
It's over.
Go ahead.
We knew it was gonna be over. I mean, look, man, the Lakers, as good of a team they are, they just didn't have enough. You know what I'm saying? I think it'd be different if they had. And again, Austin Reeves is another player. Actually, I know he played. He came back in the Rocket series, but I mean, he was rusty because he had missed most of the season. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, it'd be different if they had a healthy Austin Reeves and a healthy Luka Doncic, of course, right? But they didn't, and it was just LeBron and a rusty Austin Reeves. So, of course, OKC swept them for the series. I mean, the Lakers. I personally, I thought the Lakers played fairly well this series. Like, I don't think they really got embarrassed or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they didn't win a game, but I mean, most of the games were pretty, tight for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? At least starting the games. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like the first quarter they were always close, but of course, OKC just got too much power, man. They're extremely healthy right now. I know Jalen Williams is out, but I mean, all these other guys, they just loaded, man. AJ Mitchell had a marvelous series. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they just Shea Gilgeous wasn't even that good this series.
Reeves was getting fired up by Mitchell last night, bro.
I'm telling you, man. Shea Gilgeous wasn't even that good this series.
No, he wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? I think he scored under 20 like in 3 straight games, which is something that he hadn't done in 3 years or something like that. The Lakers played admirably. It's just that OKC is too powerful. So T, give me your thoughts on all of that, bro. What's up with the Lakers? What's up with OKC? You already said you
again. Me and you kind of talked about it last week a little bit. OKC not even playing their best ball now. They still kicking butt and taking names. Yeah. Like, they ain't really play their best ball all playoff. I really think they bored. Like, I think they kind of – you remember when Clemson used to be really elite in football, good times, right? And we used to sleepwalk through games because we knew, like, oh, yeah, we're going to blow them out. I feel like OKC is kind of like doing that right now. Because you got to think about it, that team is still very young. So I think they're kind of cakewalking through teams and still, beating them essentially. So and again, like you said, Shea ain't even played his best really in these playoffs, to be real. And especially in this series, he wasn't the greatest. So again, man, I just think they kind of like, we know we so good. We know we're going to be able to just turn on and beat teams. Now, I wouldn't advise them doing that with the Spurs in this next series. I wouldn't advise that. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I think the Lakers, it kind of just is what it is. I think they're just poorly constructed as of now. I think, and I guess we'll get into that in a second. I just think they need a big man. I think Luka hurt because you remember before Luka got hurt, they was balling. They was going crazy. Like Luka was going crazy, Reeves was going crazy, even LeBron was doing some decent things as the third option, but still going crazy. So, yeah, I just think the way they're constructed, I think they need a big man badly. I think DeAndre Ayton is a waste of money completely. Again, man, it's just they need a big man. They need probably like one more shooter, I would say, too, that could be an impact player for them. But Luka staying healthy was obviously the most important thing to them. And once that didn't happen,
Yeah,
we kind of all knew what was going. I was
it
actually
was
kind of
over,
surprised they beat Houston, to be transparent with you.
bro. We
Um,
were. I
yeah,
say they was getting swept by Houston.
yeah, I
So
was honestly surprised they beat Houston. So honestly, for what they had, they kind of like went over and above the expectations without Luka.
yeah,
But again, I just think going up against that freight train OKC with no Luca, you wasn't winning that, bro. You wasn't.
yeah.
You know what I'm
They ain't
saying?
had
That's just the truth.
they ain't had no chance, bro. They ain't had no shot.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Um, I think in terms of how they're constructed, man, there's a couple things. The thing about the Lakers that kind of it kind of drives me insane a little bit is there's guys on the team that they swear are gonna be like. I keep thinking about how they keep trying to rely on like Jared Vanderbilt to be
yeah,
something, and he just ain't. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. He's just an average. He's just a guy in the NBA.
He's just a guy. Like he don't do. I know he's supposed to be they primary defender or whatever, but he don't stay healthy enough for him to be that. And
Exactly.
then when he's out there, I mean, he don't really give you much on the offensive side of the floor anyway. So it's guys like that on their team. You know what I'm saying? I know Rui Hachimura had a really good playoffs and a really good series, but he's
Yeah.
another guy that,
He's
again,
just a guy.
he's just a guy. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah,
had to be one of your primary contributors this round. Now I know it probably would have been a lot better if they had their top two scorers
right.
healthy, but again, you're asking him to be something that he's not. Luke Kennard, him asking him to be something that he's not. And again, DeAndre Ayton, his season was pretty good, but when Luca went
Playoffs.
down in this playoffs, I mean, he was terrible, man. He couldn't even grab a rebound. You know what I'm saying? So it's just things like this where, again, and I'm with you. I'm not calling it a failure at all because I
Yeah,
think the Lakers making it to the second round with this, like with LeBron like this, I think that's a success for them because now you know that, oh man, if Luca was there, if Austin Reeves was healthy throughout the season, we might have had a shot at something. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
They might have been able to take OKC to 6 or 7. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Might have been able to beat them with a Luka Doncic. You never know. You know what I'm saying? But they probably would have swept the way that the way that they played. They very well could have swept the Rockets. You know what I'm saying? With
Mm-hmm.
Luka. So it's just a weird situation for the Lakers. But the biggest thing that they got to figure out is LeBron James this coming off season.
Yep.
So LeBron is an unrestricted free agent.
Which
You know
means
what I'm
he can do
saying?
whatever the heck he wants.
He can do whatever. Of course, he's contemplating retirement, but he can go to the Lakers. He can go to any other team. So let me ask you: is this it for LeBron James? And uh, and if it's not it, where does he need to be playing next season?
So let me get this out the way. I love LeBron James. I love how he's trying to play this humble act of I don't need a retirement tour. For LeBron James is 100. Adam Silver will force a retirement tour on that man. He gonna get a retirement tour. So I don't think he's done. Um, if he cares about being a contender and winning one more ring, he needs to leave LA. That's
Mm,
just the facts. It depends on what LeBron wants. If LeBron just wants to chill out, just do this last year with his son in LA and just going out in sunset, stay where you at. Just say
yeah,
LA, I'm gonna give y'all one more year, a little cheap deal, and I'm gonna go ahead and ride on out. If he wants to win and contend for a championship, I got 3 spots for him. I think Cleveland, obviously, it would be a good spot for him. Now that Steve Kerr is coming back, I think the Warriors, him and Steph together, might could and Jimmy Butler too, because I'm pretty sure LeBron would take a pay cut coming to the Golden State Warriors. I think that potentially could be something. And I think I hate to say this, I think the best fit for him right now would be the New York Knicks, to be quite frankly honest, if he wants to win now, because he would actually fit in that role perfectly. Cause they kind of need a wing player like a 3 or 4 They kind of need, even though everybody plays positionless basketball now, but still they kind of need a player like
Yeah,
LeBron.
they
They
do.
have their scorer in Jalen Brunson. They have a decent defender or whatever in Carl Anthony Towns and all that. They got their big man or whatever. Um, if they add a guy like LeBron, the Knicks could be a problem. If that's your third or potentially fourth option, the
Yeah,
Knicks could 100% be a problem. I'm not gonna lie. I think Cleveland, you can kind of make the same issue. You can kind of say the same thing like Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, whatever the case may be, James Harden. You can say the same thing there with them too. But him in New York would make a lot of sense. I'm not gonna lie. And that's
mm,
always a place I felt like he was rumored to like go to his whole career and never really went through it. Now we got to see what Giannis do because I'm pretty sure the New York Knicks is going to try to go after him too. You know
and
what
the
I'm saying?
Warriors.
So yeah, and the Warriors. So again, but those are the options I think, or option four, which I don't think you do, retire and say I'm the second greatest and potentially some people would argue the best. And I think you could actually make an argument for LeBron being the best player of all time. You say, hey, I'm the second best player of all time or the best potentially, and I'm just gonna hang it up right here. You could also do that as well. I mean, but I don't think he's gonna do that. He's gonna get retirement tour. So I think he's either gonna be if he doesn't care about winning and he just wants to live a comfortable one more year in the NBA, he's gonna stay with the Lakers. If he wants to win, Warriors, Cavaliers, Knicks, them are your options. Realistic options.
Yep.
But that's
Yep.
all I got for it.
I like everything you said, except I'm gonna swap one of your teams.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like it all. Of course, Cleveland. I think Cleveland is the best. I think Cleveland's the best fit. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's where he should be because Cleveland got a 1, a 2, a 4, and a 5. They really need somebody to slide in that 3 spot, and
Yeah.
that's what LeBron James could be. You know what I'm saying? They got
Mm-hmm.
a good squad, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if they get a LeBron James,
It
and
was set in stone.
that would be a perfect send off for him too, because that's home.
It's home.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That would be great. That's where he started. Him coming back for a third time and trying to get a championship there would be amazing for them. So I think Cleveland would be the best spot for him to be. Second best spot for him to be, in my opinion, is where he is right now with the Lakers.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in terms of winning the championship. I just mean that as in he's been there longer than anywhere besides Cleveland. So that
Yeah.
might as well be his home as well.
Yeah.
And I don't think Cleveland has a significantly higher chance of winning the championship next year than the Lakers do.
Yeah.
So he can just stay with the Lakers. And I think they have a pretty decent relationship there. Obviously, he has a really good relationship with JJ Redick. His son is on the team. He likes Luka. He likes Austin Reeves if they can bring Austin Reeves back. So they got, I mean, I think the Lakers would still be a really good place for him. The Knicks, like you said, is a really good option as well because they have everything that they need. They could just use a LeBron James as well. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to hurt the Knicks in any way, I don't think. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And I don't even think LeBron is going to be that expensive to where
No,
he's
I
going
don't
to
think
hurt the
he is
cap.
either.
So I think that could work out too. You know what I'm saying? I think, only thing with the Knicks is I think the Knicks kind of have what they need to win a championship. It's just that there's other teams, specifically the OKC and the Spurs, that are just better. You
Better.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I think the Knicks got it all. I think LeBron would be a little bit overkill, but it works because if I'm not mistaken, Mike Brown was they went to the finals together in Cleveland
Mm-hmm.
the
Yep.
first time. So I think that would be pretty significant as well. The team that I'm gonna swap for the Warriors, though, I know the Warriors is a common choice because I think a lot of people want to see LeBron and Steph play together. But I think the Warriors, they're already the oldest team in the league. They're just gonna get older with LeBron, and I don't like
Yeah.
that. I don't like that fit personally because, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, they already too old. I
Yeah.
know Chuck and Draymond kind of had a little spat or whatever this week about it. But I don't think Chuck was wrong. They old, bro.
Yeah.
Like
They old.
they are great. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. They old.
they need to be getting younger expeditiously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm the Warriors, I'm targeting Giannis over a LeBron James. But shoot, if you can get them both, go for it. But the team that I would actually uh, I would say LeBron need to come to is my Nuggets, bro. Come on and give
Really?
me one, dog. Yes, yes, we could absolutely, bro. We need. I LeBron, because again, LeBron's not gonna hurt any team in the league. There's no team that he can. There's no team that he can go to that they're gonna get worse. Every team in the league should be trying to get LeBron James this year, and even if they know it's gonna be a 1 year rental, you don't have to trade for him. He's probably not gonna be that expensive. If he is expensive, again, it's just one season. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That's why I say because the Nuggets are already looking to be sellers, are already trying to get rid of a lot of contracts, are already trying to bring in some better guys. LeBron James is right there. If he, but obviously LeBron probably ain't coming. If he goes to a small city, he going back to Cleveland, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, uh, but yeah, that would be my. How many teams did I say? 3, 4.
Very, yeah.
That would be those would be my teams there. The Cavs, Lakers. I'd say the Knicks, of course, because they're just a big market, and then lastly the Nuggets.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think all of those options are really valid options that I think he would improve.
Yeah. Let
Before
me
we go ahead, go ahead.
let me I don't know what you were about to say, but let me ask you about this draft lottery. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've
go
seen
ahead.
it on Sunday, but give me your thoughts on it on the order. I'll read it for you if you want me to. Um, but I was actually surprised by the outcome that the Wizards got the number 1 pick.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But this is the draft lottery order, okay? I'm gonna read it from 14 to 1, okay? So Charlotte, of course, having the 14th pick, Miami having the 13th pick. OKC got the Clippers 12th pick, which is crazy.
yeah,
Golden State 11, Milwaukee 10, Dallas got the 9th pick. Yo Hawks got the 8th pick. The Kings got the 7th pick. Brooklyn got the 6th pick. The Clippers via the Indiana Pacers have the 5th pick. Which blew my mind because I didn't even know that was a thing before
yeah. I think
before
the pick was top three protected, right, or top four
it was
protected, wasn't it?
it was top 4 protected exactly.
Dang, so they just missed
They
out.
just
Jeez.
missed out.
Yeah,
Chicago with the 4th pick, Memphis with the 3rd, Utah with the 2nd, and Washington, of course, winning the lottery with the 1st overall pick. Give me your thoughts. Biggest winners, biggest losers in the draft process or in the lottery.
Well, the biggest losers would be
Oh, and
Brooklyn.
keep in mind before you start, this is the final year of this lottery system. Next year goes to the bull, the BS one. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
the one we was talking about a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest losers are Brooklyn because they were terrible this year, and they still end out with
Yes.
like what the sixth pick you said.
6. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of like right on the outside of who is elite. I mean, this is supposed to be a deep draft, quote unquote. So the first 5 or 6 picks have kind of been hyped up. Darius Akou, Darren Peterson, Boozer, all those guys.
Yeah.
The bands, what's the dude at Carolina? Wilson,
Wilson.
Caleb
Yep.
Wilson. So I mean, this is supposed to be this is probably one of the more deeper classes I've seen. So they can still probably get a deeper, like they could probably still get a good player at 6, but they gonna miss out on like them. They kind of need one of them like the Bansas, one of
Yeah.
them types.
Yeah.
I think Washington really. I mean, obviously, I kind of think they're a winner in this situation, especially if they can keep like Trey Young and Anthony Davis. If they can add like the Bansa to that or Peterson or whatever, whoever they decide to add, I mean, they could. I think they'll still be trash, but I think that at least it'll be something to be. They'll be fun to watch. I'll say that for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They'll be fun to watch if they add somebody like AJ DeBansa to that team. So I would say they're definitely a winner as well. I mean, OKC still being in the mix, always going to be a winner. They don't even really need no more young players at this point, to be quite frankly honest with you. But again, them landing another lottery pick, really good for them. Yeah, I mean, I think even the Hawks at 8, I think is pretty good. We need a big man bad. I'm hoping we get the dude that was at UCLA that went to Michigan, Mara. I'm really hoping we get him because he's tough. But yeah, I mean that's just some of the winners and losers I would say of the whole thing. But Brooklyn to me by far definitely the biggest loser in my opinion.
Yeah. Uh I agree, man. I think Brooklyn, I think obviously we talked about the Pacers. I think they gotta be the biggest loser here.
Yeah, cause they
Um
tank, then they tank and they still ain't.
they tank well they lost their pick. They
They
don't
lost
have
their
one.
pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot.
They
Yeah,
lost
so Pacers definitely
they
they
lost their
actually a
pick.
bigger loser than Brooklyn actually.
Yeah, they lost their pick. So I gotta and the Clipper and again, I didn't even know that. Like I knew, of course, I knew they had Zubats, but I didn't even realize that the pick was like they could have potentially lost their first round pick too. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like and they did, which is insane. Um for them to have the second worst record in the league this year and not even get a first round pick is
yeah,
tough.
sick.
You
That's
know what I'm
sick
saying?
work.
So Zubats gotta be all D 2012 and 5 stocks next year.
Yeah,
Minimum. You know what I'm saying? And they gotta get back to the conference finals minimum to make up for that. Cause and I think he's a good player, you know what I'm saying? But again, this is the wrong draft class to be doing something like that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Um, so of course the Clippers, I mean, they gonna get a star for
good
their
player.
future
Yeah,
with it because we thought they was gonna be the biggest loser coming into the process because of the OKC thing. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Losing they picked OKC, but regardless, biggest losers for me besides Indiana, I think I'm with you. I think Brooklyn and Sacramento, both of them, to
Mhm.
be at 6 and 7. Again, you can't really lose in a class this deep. Um, but Brooklyn should have been in line for a
Superstar.
Debonsa or a Boozer or something like that. Of course,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying. Indy should have been in line for one of them guys. You know what I mean.
Hmm.
I even think Utah, even with the second pick, they invested a lot of money because Debonsa was in Utah. You know what I'm saying? He was
Correct.
at BYU. They really wanted, bro. And for them to have the second
Mhm.
pick, I know that probably stings a little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Obviously the biggest winner being the Wizards. This is the first time that the worst team has had the worst record in this current lottery format. You know that, right?
yep.
Uh, so that's and of course it's being the last year, and it's only gonna get harder for them to get the number one pick. But
Yeah,
I think Washington finally getting a number one pick for the first time in 15 seasons since John Wall. I think that's huge for them. And
yeah,
then of course Memphis. I think Memphis did a really or excuse me, Memphis and Chicago jumping up as far as they did into the
yeah,
Memphis at 3 and 4. I think that's huge for them because especially Chicago, because me and you both said Chicago in the middle of nowhere right now, and arguments can be made they in the worst situation in the league because they
yeah.
really
I was
got
about
no
to
type of
say.
they're not good and they're not terrible. They just straight up mid.
Yeah,
And when you mid, you don't have no choice. But for them to have the number 4 overall pick, and like you said, they won't get a Debonsa or a Boozer, but they might mess around and get a Wilson or a Kingston Fleming. You know what I'm saying? Or a Darius A. Cup Jr. You know what I'm saying? Or who knows? One of these teams. I mean, the teams ahead of them ain't too smart. They might mess around and get a Darren Peterson. So I think all of these. I think those teams are your biggest winners, man. And I don't know, man. I just hate that I still hate the lottery process though, bro. Like I
yeah, I do
still do.
too.
I
I hate
still
it.
do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see how it goes next year, but
Yep, yep. We'll see how it goes. Before we head out, I just want to say no GTA 6 news today. I know people was kind of expecting it, but I told you I don't think we're gonna get none until close to the end of the month anyway. But I do think something's coming though, but I just don't think it's gonna be. It might be next week, maybe. But I knew today we wasn't gonna get no news. I don't think we're gonna get no news this week, period. But just wanted to bring that up. Um,
yeah,
I know me and you be talking about it on here and stuff. So yeah,
it might be a while, bro. I hate that too.
yeah, might
I
be a
hate
little
it.
bit of a wait on that. But when it gets here, we'll be able to share it with y'all and we'll be ready to go. Again, bro, we appreciate y'all's love and support, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in with us every week. Again, we'll be back next week, man, going over some playoff stuff. We'll be deep into the NBA playoffs at that point. So yeah, man, we appreciate y'all love and support, man. Cam, did you want to say anything before shutting it out?
Nah, man, appreciate y'all. Y'all went crazy in the comments. They look like, man, we appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah, y'all did go crazy. Yeah, shout out to y'all
But
for real.
yeah, but nah, we'll again, we'll probably if GTA drops something between now and next week, y'all gonna hear from us first. You understand
Yeah,
me?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, all right, y'all. Y'all take it easy. Y'all have a good rest of y'all week, man. Enjoy it. And